reminisce. Yeah. I reminisce for a spell, or shall I say think back 22 years ago to keep it on track. The birth of a child on the 8th of October. I toast when my granddaddy came sober. Count all the fingers and the toes. Now I suppose you hope the little black boy grows. 18 years younger than my mama, but I really got beaten because the girl loved drama. In single parenthood, there I stood. By the time she was 21, had another one. This one's a girl. Let's name her Pam. Same father as the first, but you don't give a damn. Irresponsible, plain not thinking. Papa said chill, but the brother keep winking. Still he won't down you or tear out your hide. On your side while the baby make a slide. But mama got wise to the game. The youngest of 5 kids, hun, here it is. After 10 years without no spouse, mama's getting married in the house. Listen, positive over negative, for the woman a master. Mother Queen's rise in the chapter. Deja vu, tell you what I'm gonna do when they reminisce over you, my God. When I think back, I recall a man off the family tree. My right hand, Papa Doc, I see. Took me from a boy to a man, so I always had a father. When my biological didn't bother taking care of this. So who am I to pick up? Not a bad ticker, but I'm clocking Pop's liver. But you can never say that his life is through. 5 kids at 21, believe he got a right to. Here we go while I check the scene with the Portuguese lover at the age of 14. The same age, front page, no fuss, but I bet you all you know they live longer than us. Never been seen now, that's where you're wrong. But give the man a taste and he's gone. Nodding off sleep to a jazz tune. I can hear his head banging on the wall in the next room. I get the pillow and hope I don't wake him. But this man the cuss, hear it all in verbatim. Telling me how to raise my boy unless he's taking over. I said, Pop, maybe when you're older. We laughed all night about the hookers at the party. My old man standing yelling, good God Almighty. Use your condom, take sips of the brew. When they reminisce over you, for real. For real, baby. Like that. We for real. Yeah, come on. I reminisce so you never forget this. The days are way back, so many bear witness the fitness. Take the first letter out of each word in this joint. Listen close as I prove my point. T to the R-O-Y, how did you and I meet in front of Big Lou's fighting in the street? But only you saw what took many time to see. I dedicate this to you for believing in me. Rain or shine, yes, in any weather. My grandma Pam holds the family together. My Uncle Doc's the greatest, better get the latest. If we're talking about a car, Uncle Sterling got the latest. I strive to be live cause I got no choice and run my own business like my Aunt Joyce. So Pete Rock hit me, enough respect to when they reminisce over you. Listen. Just listen to the funky song as I rock on, and that's word is born to the one and only. Never be another, he was my brother. Trouble to you, Roy. It's like that, y'all. And it don't stop. Rock and still smooth for 92. And we out.
Welcome to another installment, another video, another podcast, whatever you guys want to call it. I'm doing another video here. As you can see, the title, right? Trump pulls another stunt of black support of MAGA, right? I'm going to be going over that, plus my up and coming debate with FBA. I should be having FBA debate coming up. Should be sometime this week. I'm still coordinating with the brothers from the To Be Fair show, right? I think it's supposed to be. I think his name is FBA Trey, right? On the To Be Fair show podcast. So we're gonna look at a little preliminary of what led up to that, right? But first, we're going to tackle into this whole Donald Trump stunt again. I waited until like the dust settled, right? And I looked on both sides of the spectrum of how the Republicans viewed it and how normal people viewed it, how MAGA viewed it, and how just normal people viewed it. and it was hilarious and very telling on both sides. And I'm going to show you guys how dishonest the MAGA party and the Trump cult is, right? Especially the Negro House Negro MAGA supporters, of why they have to either report it in a dishonest way or don't report it at all, or to pretty much report something that you clearly see and is, hey, don't believe your lying eyes. This is what's really happening, right? So we all know that Trump did a so-called rally in the Bronx. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna show you. I've Again, for those you don't know, I'm in New York. I'm from New York. I've been to the Bronx. I used to chill in the Bronx, right? My father's family, they live in the Bronx, right? Right off on the concourse. I think that's on 175th, 173rd. I think we take the D train or whatever, right? They live in the Bronx, right? So I'm gonna show you, like I guess don't believe me, right? Okay, fine, you don't believe me, even though I'm from New York, right? So I'm gonna show you a couple of things just to let you know what the demographic of the Bronx is, and people speaking on that. Oh yeah, it's all these black people that support Donald Trump. We're gonna see the farce in all that, right? So right here, this is a website right here, as you can see, that I'm sharing right now. It's South Bronx Unite, right? It's southbronxunite.org, right? So it's a community page that they have. You see all the flags. This is the demographic of the Bronx, right? You see right there, you see Hispanic, Latino people there, right? You see a black girl right there. You have someone Mexican right there. You got a black dude right there, right? More Hispanic people, right? More black people. That's what the Bronx is. The Bronx is a lot like New York, as you can see right here. It's a lot like New York. You have a lot of black and a lot of Hispanic, but in the Bronx you have more Hispanic people there than anywhere else. So again, for those of you that don't know, they may not know the New York very well. The Bronx is so we have the 5 boroughs. The Bronx is the fourth smallest borough, next to Staten Island, right? So the biggest borough is going to be Queens. Second biggest borough is going to be Brooklyn. Then it's going to be Manhattan. Then the Bronx. Then Staten Island. No, the Bronx. Then Staten Island. Yeah, in that manner, right? So this right here just shows you. So let's just go on this community. This is South Bronx Unite, right? So it's their mission statement right there. Who are we? See, negra. So you see, she's Dominicano, right? And you got some Puerto Ricans there. As you can see, right? You probably have a Black American right there in that scarf. You have more black people on your right-hand side. This is the community, right? This is the community. Giving you guys an outlook of what the community looks like, right? Our board, Kyle Johnson, Melissa Berber, MD, right? Monox Lopez, right? Libertardo Guerrera, right? Raymond Figueroa is probably Dominican or Puerto Rican. You know, this is what this organization is made up of, right? It's a lot of black and brown people. You have a white dude right here. He's the director of special projects, right? You got another white lady, right? But you can see it looks like a grassroots organization, right? So land trust. So let's look at issues we work on: environmental justice, right? And again, you see the makeup demographic. There's a lot of Hispanic people. There's a lot of Hispanic people. Public health and equality. Hold on, inequity, right? Again, these are the people. Response: we want safe streets, no more trucks, right? So if anyone know anything about the Bronx has a history where, they years ago I think it was the what highway is that? It's the Cross Bronx Expressway. It disrupt a lot of neighborhoods. White people always do that. Black people have a nice thriving neighborhood, and white people will destroy and disrupt that neighborhood by putting highways and things through it, right? So it lowers the property value of the area, right? So no more trucks in the neighborhood. So again, seeing a demographic there. I'm just showing you guys this real quick, right? Just so we could know when we talk about the people of the Bronx, of the South Bronx, we know what people of the South Bronx, what they look like, what we look like, right? We know what we look like. We see all these black and brown faces, right? So we know, right? Got it, guys? Good, right? So I'm also going to show you a little fun here. Who is also from the Bronx, right? I did like a little search of rappers who are from the Bronx. And in case you guys didn't know, I kind of learned something here. So the intro you just heard Pete Rock and CL Smooth on Reminisce, right? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Anyway, I'll hit him up there. I don't know who that 88 Keys is. Some people I don't know, right? Well, we all know Africa Bombada. He was raised in the Bronx. Big Pun, right? Bronx. Y'all know Big Tigger. He's from the Bronx. A Boogie with the hoodie, right? Oh, whoa, I didn't know that. Cannabis was from the Bronx. So all my old school hip hop cats, you know what I'm saying? Cannabis is from the Bronx. He's real nice. And if you ever don't see that him and LL Cool J had a beef and then they did a collab, that's real nice. That was fire back then, right? DJ Kid Capri. Kid Capri's from the Bronx. Cardi B is from the Bronx. Grandmaster Caz is from the Bronx. Said G is from the Bronx. Chi Ali is from the Bronx. I thought he was from Queens. I didn't know Chi Ali was from the Bronx. Keith Cowboy. He looks like ice. He looks like iced tea. You know what I'm saying? Crew, Cuban Link, D Nice. My name is D Nice. D Nice is from the Bronx, right? Diamond D. Tim Dog is from the Bronx. Fuck Compton. He had that famous joint, Fuck Compton, right? Don Q rapper. Ooh, Drag On from Rough Riders. I didn't know that. Right? I don't know who that is. Of course, unfortunately, Fat Joe. Right? Grandmaster Flash, of course. Fred Gordon, Funk Master Flex. I don't know Flex was from the Bronx. Funk Master Flex been a DJ in New York for over 20 years. He's like the new Mr. C right now, right? So as you can see, everybody here is pretty much black and Hispanic, right? You can look at the on the list. You can look at the list here. Ice Spice, unfortunately, she's from the Bronx, right? So you can pretty much see Jim Jones, obviously from the Bronx. Everyone pretty much is black and Hispanic. Remy Ma, of course, to drive a point home. Craig Mack, who got the flavor in your ear, brand new flavor in your ear. Craig Mack, right? So I guess you guys get my point, get my gist of all Pete Rock, CL Smooth. Hold on, I know why someone ringing my bell. Who is it? Who is it? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get someone to answer my bell. Hold on, guys. Anyway, sorry about that. So that's it. That's what I pretty much wanted to show you. So you guys, little fun of who's from the Bronx and who isn't from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? To get the demographic. So we're going to get into it right now. Right? So we're going to see what the MAGA coons and the MAGA coons and the Republicans, what are they saying about the whole thing that happened in the Bronx? Because I'm not going to let them get away in misrepresenting my borough. I'm not going to let them get in misrepresenting my city, my town, where I know what are the people, or the demographic of the people. And they couldn't have gone to a more Hispanic, Black area than the Bronx. But I'm going to let these MAGA coons tell it themselves, right? And we're going to see if they're going to be, if they've done their homework as far as like what Bronx is, right? So right here, these people right here, right? If you guys see my cursor, these are Republicans, right? These are not people who just came out that want to support. These are the people who orchestrated this fiasco right here. These are registered Republicans, right? You're gonna see this lady right over here in the green, right? We're gonna find out who she is too. And remember this dude with his hands folded. Remember niggas for Trump with the niggas for Trump shirt, the proud nigger for Trump. That's who he is. This Negro's from the South, right? He's not from the Bronx, right? He's not from the Bronx. And you're going to see a trend with that. So this is, hold on a second. This is from, if you guys see here, the Black conservative perspective, right? So you're going to dive into what he says. I like to use him as an example, right? Because this is a Black channel. So Black people are not a monolith and we have coons among us, right? So we're going to see who are the coons among us, right? So, and like anything, he's doing this for a grift or he's just completely ignorant. Most Black conservatives, they're doing it for a grift, right? So we're going to see what he says about this whole thing. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to just skip to the very important parts.
Latino, Black Americans, white Americans, Jew Americans to save this country. They are only interested in stripping us of our sovereignty, stripping us of our rights, stripping us of our religious rights, stripping us of our freedom of speech. They are moving.
How is the Democratic Party stripping you of your religious rights and your sovereignty? The guy is just talking the talk. What did Joe Biden say that he's going to strip you of your sovereignty? All this is Trump. If Trump becomes a dictator, then that kind of threatens your sovereignty as an American, right? When are Christians being attacked? Christians aren't being attacked. What I've seen, Christians are doing the attacking in the world for the past 400 or 500 years. You know what I'm saying? Christians, and at this point, in this day and age, Jews are attacking other minorities, which are white people in extension.
Moving fast, and we have to get together to make sure we support Donald Trump, to make sure we have somebody in the White House that will stand up for us.
And by the way, he's doing it in the South Bronx, not to make a point, but because he's got court. And the man practically has the legal version of an ankle bracelet around him, and he can't leave the 5 boroughs because he always has to be in court. And so it is truly an embarrassment to him. And I am looking forward to the response of everyday Bronxites talking about how they feel about him.
Later.
What's later? There's nothing but white people. There's nothing but white people. Let's rewind. Let's rewind that back. Let's rewind that back. Let's rewind that back. I'm gonna try to. I should play that slowly. Let me slow that down. Let me slow that down because that all I saw was a bunch of white people, and we know what the demographics of what the Bronx is, right? So let's slow that down. Well, let me slow it down a little more. white boys, white women, one black guy, more white people. And this is New York, yo. Homie right here, I bet you he's from the Bronx because he's saying, I'm gonna make money off of these crackers. I'm gonna sell me American flags. That's how it is out here. Another Negro. For every one Negro, you got like 4 or 5 white people, at least. More white people. More white people. And he's going later. Like what point did you just prove? The black conservative perspective doesn't know the geographic makeup, the racial makeup of the Bronx. These are all white people. See a Negro, 2 Negroes here. They're like flakes of pepper in a sea of salt. Come on, y'all. Look at this. It's nothing but a sea of white people. If now when he has rallies in New Jersey, when he had that rally in New Jersey that he lied about, he was saying it's like 100,000 people there when it was barely 10,000 people. Then yeah, I get that part of Jersey, and it's mostly going to be white people. So you would expect that, right? I'm not expecting to see a lot of black and brown faces there. This is the Bronx, yo. South Bronx. Look at this.
Right. There are a lot of anti-Trump people in my neighborhood, but still, some of them believe and are coming to vote for Donald Trump because they.
You're a liar. Where are they? You're a liar. I just did a pause image. There's one black dude there, and again, a bunch of white people. You will not go in the Bronx. You will not take the 4 train, the 5 train, the 3 train, the D train this far uptown and see white people looking like this. Like your Jim Bobs, Billy Bobs, and Joe Dirts. Looking like these are not people from the Bronx. I just showed you what the people from the Bronx look like.
They believe in economic success and they believe in lowering crime.
But the crime, the economy, and also immigration, what have you noticed with kind of the migrant crisis, specifically in New York alone? How has it impacted your neighborhood?
Well, for one, illegal aliens are being transported to communities near me, to shelters near me. And that's.
Yes, due to Greg Abbott, a Republican. A Republican is causing the strife for New Yorkers. Of what Greg Abbott is doing with this illegal transportation, this trafficking of immigrants, of people. He's not supposed to do that, but they won't tell you that.
It's upsetting. Why can't we help the homeless veterans instead, the homeless American veterans? Instead, we're helping illegals.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Shut your coon ass up. So to answer that guy's question, to help the homeless veterans, remember, burn kits. I think I mentioned this before. There was supposed to be a vote in the House for medical burn kits for our troops and our soldiers, and the Republican Party voted that down. They voted that down, burn kits, medical care to take care of our vets. Everything they're saying is condemnation of their own party, of what they're doing. So let's hear this House Negro coon MAGA conservative.
What I gotta tell you guys, AOC and the Democrats are in full-blown panic mode over what is expected to be a massive pro-Trump rally in the South Bronx as Trump makes the Democrats
I don't know why he's doing this, y'all.
And the political persecutions against him backfire because he is playing 3D chess with the Democrats in the sense that he's saying,
this is how you know this dude is a part of a cult. Donald Trump is playing 3D chess. Let that sink into your head for a moment. Donald Trump doesn't even know how to play checkers, let alone chess. But according to him, he's playing 3D chess. Donald Trump is playing 3D chess. A man that says that windmills give you cancer. A man that says during the hurricane that's in Puerto Rico, he said you could just nuke a hurricane. A man that says they keep talking about dirty coal, you can just take the dirty coal and clean it. This man that's saying these things is saying that he's saying that he is playing 3D chess. This is how you know these guys are in a cult. This is how you know these guys aren't honest in their political critique and reporting, period, let alone their characterization of Donald Trump. 3D chess, he said.
and you know what? Since I have to be in these liberal cities due to these political persecutions, I am just going to start to campaign.
Another lie saying political persecution. So again, he's in the cult, knowing because these are things that Donald Trump has did. And I always use this example. That's like me committing a fraud, a crime, and the crime caught up to me when I'm going to Africa. So I'm about to go to Africa, and they say, "Oh, sir, Mr. Thorne, you can't go to Africa because of this crime that you committed." Oh, they're blocking me from my vacation going to Africa. See, they're anti-African. Look, the white man don't want me to go to Africa, y'all. The white man don't want me to go to Africa, y'all. Fight for justice. Like, no, I did the crime, and the crime has caught up with me. So, yes, I have to go to court now. That's not the white man or someone trying to stop me from going from Africa. That's how disingenuous these guys are.
In these liberal cities, I'm going to hold rallies in these liberal cities just to try to show Democrats that you're not going to stop me from campaigning. You're not going to stop me from going out there and earning every vote that I can get. And Trump is doing something that Republicans, no other Republican can really do, can get away with, to go in a deep blue city and to hold a massive rally. And again, we're talking about a deep blue district, okay? Because this district has voted Democrat for 100 years straight, okay?
And it's going to continue to be that way. So, okay, that's his coon perspective. We heard his lies already. I kind of wanted to highlight something else he said. I kind of want to address that.
To see, okay? But with that being said, we know that AOC and Democrats, they don't like seeing this at all. In fact, the copium that is happening in the liberal media among Democrats, AOC included, is astronomical, right? Because AOC, instead of holding her own rally, which we already know why she's not going to hold her own rally, we've seen what happens at AOC's town halls.
Sorry about that. Oh, that's when, I'm not even bothered talking about that because he's just trying to poke fun at her. They have a bug up their ass about AOC. That's not what the thing she said. I think this is what the part where I'm trying to get to. Yeah.
And again, I think the Bronx sees.
Yeah. So that is AOC being nonsensical, just making up claims because
that he'd be bringing those down when he's cashing in from the same folks that are bringing those prices up, I think is a little bit suspect. Hey, you give me $1 billion and I'll make sure that you get the policies that are favorable to raising gas prices and making sure that that a lot of these companies continue to price gouge without proper oversight or regulation. And so the idea that he'd be bringing those down when he's cashing in from the same folks that are bringing those prices up, I think is a little bit suspect. And again, I think the Bronx sees.
Yeah. So that is AOC being nonsensical, just making up claims because apparently Democrats can just make up stuff, right?
No, you stupid coon ass white ass kissing nigga. What she's saying is absolutely right. Donald Trump is for fossil fuel. I gave you the whole clean coal analogy and everything that I just said, right? He is in the pocket of the fossil fuel company. His Secretary of State was Rex Tillerson. It was an old I think Amco or Exxon Mobil tycoon, right? He hired him for that for the sanctions that was put in where he couldn't drill, right? So he have him there so they could drill to put down those sanctions, right? He has Rex Tillerson, right? He is for fossil fuels. That's why Donald Trump is against alternative energy. So how is that? He said it's nonsensical. Again, he's lying. More Republican lies.
Right? When they go on the liberal media, they can just say whatever they want to say. There's never any pushback. There's never any questioning of whether or not what they're saying actually makes sense, because AOC, what fossil fuels, right? But yet she tries to basically insinuate that Trump is the person that's going to have policies that are going to increase gas prices. It's ridiculous, okay? And also say that he's going to have policies that are going to allow companies to price gouge. Well, if the companies,
yes, so he wants to, yes, because Donald Trump, he's against the EPA. He's fighting against the EPA, which is very true.
It's a price gouge, and it's not inflation. Which again, this is the Democrat conspiracy theory, is actually just allowing people and corporations to keep more of their own money and getting
greater enemy than Donald Trump to his district, and that his district will not buy the snake oil that Trump is selling in South Bronx. He says there.
Congressman from that district, Richie Torres, who's a Democrat, he's going to speak on this. Clearly, he's Trump deranged. And yeah, they're going to come.
He's Trump deranged, but you sitting in here lying for Trump. You're Trump deranged.
With the fact that Trump is going to have this massive rally of supporters showing up in a deep blue district.
Well, this is the message coming from Congressman Richie Torres, who is in this specific district in the South Bronx.
Yes, he is in this specific district. You are not. You don't even know what the demographic of the Bronx is. And I'm going to prove to you guys that is not as big as they're saying. As many white people as that came over there. It wasn't even that many white people that came out cosplaying as people from the Bronx.
He says there is no greater enemy than Donald Trump to his district, and that his district will not buy the snake oil that Trump is selling. And here he was earlier on Morning Joe.
Donald Trump is so unpopular as to be radioactive. You know, he's even less popular than arsenic in the Bronx. So I'm confident that the Bronx is going to overwhelmingly support Joe Biden. If Donald Trump did not have a criminal trial in New York City, he would never be caught dead in the Bronx. And as
correct.
As far as I'm concerned, the only place in the Bronx where Donald Trump has any place being is Bronx criminal court.
Christina, do you agree with Congressman Torres there, or could Trump's visit?
Yeah, and I agree, right? So remember, guys, right? People remember the Central Park Five. Remember the Central Park Five, where remember Donald Trump is not a he's not supposed to mean him not being a politician. That's supposed to mean something. But remember the whole Central Park Five situation, and everybody thought those boys were guilty, but they've been exonerated. And even after they've been exonerated, before they were exonerated, Trump said we need to bring back the death penalty, right? Need to bring back the death penalty when New York doesn't even have a death penalty, right? So even after they were found, DNA proved them to be innocent. People was like, hey, Donald Trump, do you want to retract that statement that you said about the Central Park Five and you want to bring back the death penalty to them? He said no. So it's like, whoa, okay, what do you mean no? But it's okay. He has to appease his base, right? So we have AB the one. He just put a comment saying Democratic Party or Republican Party, the both are the same to me. Well, okay, that's cool. That's your opinion. They are similar in certain things, but when it comes to something like this, overt racism and racism like Donald Trump, they are not the same. Because if they were the same, let me ask you a question. if the Democratic Party and the Republican Party in regards to racism is exactly the same, why is it that white nationalist, racist KKK always support the Republican Party? Why do you have David Duke that supports Donald Trump? Why do you have the Boogaloo Boys, the Proud Boys, all right? Why are they all on the Republican side? That's where your claim kind of falls apart when they say when they're both the same. In that regard, they're different. What they're similar in, they're similar as far as like making money off of the American people, right? The left wing, the Democrats and the progressive, and they were more independent as far as like, okay, they'll do more for the American people, but the Republicans don't do anything really for American people. Another question I ask you: what policy does the Republicans have right now that they're campaigning for right now that is going to help the average everyday American? All you hear is Republicans, MAGA is talking about scorcher and Donald Trump gets in the back. He's going to do this to all these Democrats. He's going to do that. He's going to do it. It's nothing but it's going to be a retribution thing, right? It's going to be a retribution campaign. It's going to be a retribution administration, right? It's going to be it's not doing anything for you, and that's the thing that I don't understand, right? What else did you say? Okay, he says, I'm saying as far as Black Americans go. Okay, that's fair too. I'm talking within that same regards, right? You're gonna. So then I just proved to you that they're not the same. I remember way back a while back when Andrew Gillum, when he was running against Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, all the racists was supporting Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz and the Republicans got mad as he called him a racist. And Gillum was like, wait, I meant not calling you racist, but all the racists think you're a racist, and you're getting their endorsements. Again, I ask you, what racist group endorse any Democratic politician? That's obviously a rhetorical question because from my recollection as of lately and for a long time, none has. So when people say they're the same, full stop, blanket statement is like, okay, you guys don't really know what you're talking about when you say that. But anyway, thanks for listening. Hang in there. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to come up and ask me personal questions about what's going on. But I'm going to keep it pushing right now. So that's the conservative perspective, right? He gave you his unprofessional, idiotic, ignorant statement of what's going on at that Bronx rally, right? And which he had no idea of what was going on at that rally. So we're gonna have our last person, our where is it? Hold on a second. We're gonna have our Pan-Republicanism, not Pan-Africanism, our Pan-Coonism, Brandon Tucker. He's going to tell you, again, the same lies. He's going to deflect. He's really not going to concentrate on anything that's going on. He's going to just basically tell you a bunch of lies. So hold on one moment while I get this ready. I got to check on something real quick. But again, just ponder this. Hold on 1 second, real quick. Sorry about that, y'all. So we're gonna hear what he has to say, the lies that he has to say and spout. So let's go.
The momentum that we have here today. Who here got paid to be here today? Are you here because you know that this is the time in history that you're in the right place at the right time, and you need to be here today?
You remember her, the woman I showed you in the beginning with the guy standing there, niggers for Trump, the nick with the nigger for Trump guy and stuff like that. That's who she is. So she's the former, that's important. She's the former New York GOP congressional Madeline Brame speaks at the Trump rally for the Bronx. So these are already Republicans. So they got their Republican Negro minion already, right? So these aren't really people who are independents or someone that's like in the middle or anything like that, or Democrats that's like, you know what? I'm interested in Trump. I want to see what Trump had to say. These are people that already had long-lasting alliances with the Republican Party.
We don't want the Republicans to take our vote for granted like the Democrats did for 50 years.
That's a very good, valid point. So, but this also doesn't make no sense. If someone's been taking you for granted, why are you at the Democratic side already? Because the Confederates, right, are Confederates, and you don't want, and they don't respect or want black people to have power. So the Democrats, yes, are taking the black vote for granted. So what you're gonna run back under Master's Klan robe, and like, well, I'm with Master now. Like that makes no sense. That's jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. That makes you look like an idiot. What will make sense is like, hey, look, I'm not going with these damn Democrats anymore. I'm gonna go with the Green Party. I'm gonna be, the Libertarian, whatever. You go left. You go more left of the Democratic Party. You don't go up under the Klan robe, under the nut sacks of white supremacy. That's what I don't understand. What she's saying about the Democratic Party, I get it. I'm there too. I'm an independent. I'm more on the left. I'm not a bleed heart Democrat at all, right? I'm on the left of Joe Biden. So I'm a progressive. I'm an independent, right? So I could look at the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, and just tell the truth, because they're not doing anything for black people. If you ask us stupid black ass, what has Donald Trump done for black people specifically? And I can say the same thing about Joe Biden, and it's going to be like, pretty much zero. It's pretty much going to be like a trickle-down effect. They don't do anything that directly affect black people, and black people have specific problems in this country. But I'm going to let her finish her coon rant.
Vote in Tina. I'm sorry. Tina Forte. That's right. And I also like to give to Derek Gibson for organizing that pre-Trump rally that was over.
Basically what she was doing, saying that she has a son that was killed with fentanyl, and this whole nonsense about crime is out of control in New York, and I'm about to prove y'all that's not true at all. Matter of fact, New York, like you have a lot of red states that the crime is way worse than in New York, but they always talk about Chicago. There's blue states. There's red states that have way more crime than Chicago, but they look at Chicago as a black city.
In the South Bronx the other day, which had a lot to do with the momentum that we have here today. So we need to keep this going. All right, we need to be true to who we are.
Keep your lies
Don't
going.
be afraid. Don't back down.
Ignorant.
Get down there. Get out there and vote like your life depends on it, because it does.
I mean, I love seeing these genuine expressions from the people of the Bronx. For too long, we've allowed politicians to communicate to us how people on the ground feel. And
she's not a person on the ground. She had long allegiance alliance with the Republican Party. Everybody that's there was not from the Bronx. And I'm about to prove you guys that right now. When you go on the ground, I even showed you the video from the coon Republican perspective, from the Republican perspective. He just looked at it and said, "So, oh, look, people. So those are people from the Bronx." Like, no, I never seen so many white people in the Bronx that wasn't police or firemen. You know what I'm saying? Big groups of white people like that? No. And Brandon doesn't also know, because he's going along also with the nonsense. People from the ground. You sound like a fucking fool.
I want you guys to understand something. The vote or what you see in the political sphere many times does not reflect the attitude of the citizens that are on the ground. Many of these citizens may relate to me or other people who support Donald Trump, but a lot of people just feel like they're outnumbered and they don't want to cause problems or find themselves being ostracized or made pariah in their own communities.
Yes, because most people, black people in our communities, aren't morons and hating black people like yourself. And as such, they should be pariahs. They should be outcasts. But at the same time, I feel a conversation needs to be had of why they're dealing with such low information, why they have such low information. And once they do get that information, what psychological issue do you have that you can't just see the facts of the matter and the facts on the ground, right? So the conversation should be had, but that's not the average black person. The average black person have some kind of self-respect for himself and know who Trump is. Anyone that's engaged in politics a little bit and see what Trump is giving, right, and what and not giving will not land where Brandon is and the black Republican perspective. They won't be MAGA coons at all. They have an agenda, right? They have a reason to say these lies, right? He rides Tariq Nasheed's back because Tariq Nasheed is saying all these lies and he's making money off of it. Same thing. He's promoting MAGA propaganda and lies so he can make money off of it, because only people that agree with him knows as much as him, no more than him, or no less than him. And that is a constant grift that Brandon needs to have, and the black conservative perspective, they need to have that. To also the black coon perspective, he does that to make white people just feel good, right? All of this is to make white people feel like, well, shit, I know Donald Trump is racist, I know that, but maybe he's not that racist because look at all the black people that support him, right? And we're gonna get into that as far as like what really happened on the ground. I'll give you guys the lies, I'll give you guys the perspective, right? The lying perspective as far as what they're saying, and I'm gonna give you the true perspective of what's going on that's on the ground, right? So now you guys know. Right. AB, the one, I don't know what you mean when you says none of them as far as I know of. Right. So I get, okay, I think I know the answer you were responding to. And that's my point. None of them. So if you don't have both, no parties doing anything for you, the left side is, you will be on a more progressive side, other than the right, who says, nigga, we ain't give you anything, pull yourself by your bootstraps, niggas is lazy, black people are lazy, black people are criminals, and black people are inherently stupid because of their blackness. That's the part that makes no sense to me, why you have black people go over to the Republican side. How you get anything done, right? So anyway, where I'm at, let me show you where I'm at. Let me get my bearings together. Oh, so he just had her do that little stupid speech or whatever. So we're gonna pull her card, and we're gonna see who she is. Right? We're gonna see who she is. See what her failings are. Pull up her lies. Right? So that was Madeline Brain. Right? Madeline Brain, Republican Party, ran for the election in the U.S. House of Representatives, New York's 16th congressional district. She will not appear for the Republican primary June 25th, 2024. Why not? Come on. Donald Trump loves you, right? Shouldn't he be funding your campaign? Why are you not going to run again? Brame also ran for election to the U.S. House to represent New York's 5th congressional district. She will not appear on the ballot for a Republican primary on June 25th for that either. So she's just a loser and sour grapes. So who is in control of her district right now? So who is the 16th district? Here's the link. New York's 16th congressional district. Jamal Bowman. That's why. Oh, Jamal Bowman kicked her ass, right? Because she wasn't doing shit or getting shit done because she is in an alternate reality. That's probably why, right? So she's not running, right? She's a nobody, right? If you want to get, according to you, get New York back on track, and the crime is this and the crime is that, Donald Trump should be funding your campaigns. It's a small seat. It shouldn't take much, but Donald Trump cares about Donald Trump, and he don't give a fuck about your stupid black ass. And you say it till you're blue in the face, right? So she's saying how the crime is high, the crime is out of control, and this is another lie and another Republican talking point that they always say. And the crime all over the country is almost pretty much at a low all over, right? The crime rate is low, right? So she gave that speech about crime is out of control and all that nonsense, right? So let's go here. Was it this one? No, that's the ones for this year. Right, that was the New York Gov site. So let's go to Fox. Fox News, right? Fox 5, New York. Is New York City safe? NYPD releases new crime rate data, right? So they got it mixed up. Oh, they got a nigger. Oh my gosh, yes, it's out of control because of the niggers. Ah. So that's a visual right there, a racist visual they give you right there. So it's going to say New York, it says New York. Is the crime rate up or down in New York City? Reports of stabbings, chaos inside the subway system, and even attempted kidnapping have New Yorkers on high alert. So they got all these links, and it's always going to revert you back to black people. Yet, does this really mean New York City isn't safe? The NYPD released a crime statistics for the last month showing trends in murder, felony assault, transit crime, and more. Right? So once you get past the racist shock and awe and get into it, they're going to have to tell the truth because they don't want to be sued again for defamation. Fox is popular for that. Here's a look at that report along with some of the top New York crime stories that dominated headlines in April. All right, so let's click on this. So it says, according to NYPD statistics, overall, April crime was down in the Big Apple by 4.9% compared to the same month last year. Almost 5% crime has gone down. But if you listen to Sean Hannity and the racist guardian angels and this stupid black MAGA house Negro, you'll think that crime is out of control and it's not going down. So let's click the link, see what it says. So right here it says, am I? Oh, I don't think I am, guys. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Hold on one second. Yeah, yes, I am. I don't know why it's not doing that. Oh, it didn't click into the link. My fault, because I was wondering why the page isn't following. You know what? Let me get back. All right, I can't hit the link. All right, there's a stat right here. Okay. New York crime statistics, right? This is April 2024, right? This is what is currently right now. I think if I hit this, it says 2023. So 2023 was up, right? Hit April 2024, it's down, right? So you can see everything went down. So it says murders were down 30.3% with 23 this month compared to 33 in April 2023. Burglaries also saw double-digit percentage point decrease with 1,003 reported this month compared to the 1,122 in April in 2023. Shooting incidents dipped by 15.5%. That's a lot from New York. However, the city saw a 5% increase in rape and a 7.2 increase in robberies. And year to date, the city has seen an increase in felony assaults. Eight, yeah. So that's right there. So that's coming from Fox. So that's mixed. But they had to admit overall it's been going down. So NYPD stats 52 weeks. You can see that's going down as far as like subway crime. Right. So, but then it's still showing black people. But I'm showing you to show this that even Fox has to tell somewhat of the truth. Right. Let's try one last time this New York.gov site. Statistics. Right here it says all crime statistics. So say murder, January 2024, 27. January 2023 was 36. Says a 9% decrease. Rape, a 33% decrease. Felony assault, 32% decrease. Burglary, a 263 decrease. Grand larceny auto, 46% decrease. All right. Housing. So there you go. So again, crime is always going to be a thing, but never listen to these Republicans that always say that, oh, crime is always out of control. And when they say crime is always out of control, they only talk about they only talk about Democratic cities and Democratic states. If anyone was to Google, Google a phrase something like highest cities with the highest crimes, or state that has the highest crimes, right? Illinois is not going to be number one. If you keep listening to Fox News and OAN and Breitbart, you swear that the crime city of America will be Chicago, Illinois, when it's not. I think Chicago, Illinois is probably ranked like number 6 or 5 or something like that, right? But you got red states that's ranked way higher than Chicago, right? So yeah, just don't do that. So anyway, to show you another farce of what Donald Trump is doing, because again, he has to convince white people and he has to convince I shouldn't say that. He mostly has to convince white people, and he has to fool black people into thinking like, hey, if you think of voting for me, yeah, it's okay, join us, because we has a lot of black people that's also, joining the Trump wave. Like, Donald Trump is so deceitful, so hateful of black people, right? He could at least, right, reach out to black people in a genuine manner. But he does things like this, right? This is an AI generated fake image. Even the BBC, even people across the pond in England, the BBC network know that this is all fake, right? Trump supporters target black voters with fake AI images. This is false. This is fake, right? And they're talking about it. Here's another one, fake. Another one that's fake, right? This happened a while back. This just didn't happen. This is fake. But Trump's gonna, his campaign, they're gonna up the ante. They're gonna try to do it be a little bit more genuine, like they did with the nonsense in the Bronx, right? But they tried this whole thing. It was picture, and it was fake, right? They were all fake. Again, I like this one. This is also fake, right? So, what Trump loves black people, and the narrative these conservatives are trying to push is that Trump is having these genuine moments with all these black MAGA people, or black people who just has an interest in Trump, and like, come on, we're not doing that. Black people are very loud and outspoken, and if that's what we want, that's what we want. Right, but no one's gonna do that because no one is messing with Trump. Like his criminal trials, no one be out front there like that because it's embarrassing. Only a bunch of fools and the deepest cult members be out there, right? So that's one of Donald Trump's stunts of of claiming that black people support him. So he's doing these stunts. Anyone that does these stunts and can't reach out to you on a human level, right, to get your vote is a person who doesn't care about you. He doesn't want to do the hard work. He doesn't want to do the groundwork. He doesn't want to do the footwork in having a real dialogue and a connection with black people, right? Because the guy is an overt racist. So he want to be around black people. So I'm going to show you another stunt Trump tried to do that pretty much failed, and that also blew up in his face because he think black people stupid. So here's Roland Martin. So this is the Chick-fil-A thing. If you guys didn't know anything happened, you're not going to find out on these conservative platforms, especially the black ones, because they try to hide those facts.
So anytime Donald Trump does anything with black people, we should just automatically assume it's fake. And so you've seen the videos, Trump dropping by this Chick-fil-A in the Atlanta University Center, and he gives this black woman a hug, and oh Lord, MAGA has been just excited, and oh, look at the black people just loving on Trump, and look at this here. And like, so here's one of the videos. They were like, look who popped by the AUC and while he was in Atlanta. Let me start this over so I can play it for y'all, because it's actually, to me, it's pretty hilarious. And I'm going to pull up in a second, so give me try to pull it up. And so again, the way folks have played this is that this was just a surprise visit, and he dropped by and he's coming by and look, and then of course, folks at Fox News, they love running with it, and that boy Lawrence B. Jones, who ain't never seen a fact he refuses to check. He just, fact checking evades Lawrence B. Jones like a haircut, and so check this out. Watch this here.
Thank you, everybody. And if they run a little bit low, give them some extras, okay? Are you the boss? No, sir. No. Thank you. Thank you very much. I
also want to mention Trump is a cheap son of a bitch, too. There was a time also, I forgot what was the name of the restaurant. He went to the restaurant. He just went in there. A whole bunch of people was there. And he said he's going to pay for everybody's meal, right? Everyone is ordering and stuff like that. Come time for Trump to pay the meal, Trump left the restaurant with the bill. But it's what Trump does. Trump doesn't pay his workers. For a casino that went bankrupt, I don't know how a casino go bankrupt because the house always wins. That's how stupid Donald Trump is. That's how bad of a businessman he is, right? He wasn't paying his contractors. I spoke about that before. A lot of his contractors, if he feels they don't do a good job or adequate job, he may not pay you. Same thing with his lawyers, right? I mean, that's a whole other thing. So that's why, like, this is what Trump does. This is what Trump does all the time. He evades his taxes. He doesn't pay his debt. He doesn't pay his bills. But this person is the right person who's going to treat it like a business. That's why they elect him. He went bankrupt several times, to the point he can't even get a real loan from an American institution. That's why he's out there in Russia and all these other places getting money from these other foreign places, because everyone knows that he's a failure.
Take care of yourself. Thank you. Yeah, come on over. Come on over. Thank you. With that beautiful hair.
Come on, Malika. Come on. Malika and James, I got your phone. Come on.
Go ahead, take it.
Come on. Here we go. In place. Oh, I gotta go this way.
Sitting here, and again, it's like, oh, this is, and then the sister, she's talking about the Atlanta University, talking about, oh, we support you. Folks, as this impromptu thing, you'll see it right here. Breaking: Trump's viral hug at Chick-fil-A was actually with a MAGA operative. It turns out Michaela Montgomery is a political consultant who worked for the Georgia GOP for years and is a city director for Candace Owens' Brexit organization. That's sort of
Candace Owens. She works for Candace Owens. She's a part of Brexit. So, she's aligned there with Ben Shapiro, all this before, Candace Owens left or whatever. So she is a plant. This is not a genuine, the hug wasn't genuine, the meeting wasn't genuine. All the people that were there, this was not a genuine exchange among just regular black people who's just interested in meeting Donald Trump. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. And this is what Trump does. He did it in the Bronx. He did it at Chick-fil-A, right? And here, I'm going to show you again another example of Trump doing the same thing in Harlem, in New York, doing the same thing.
And all of Donald Trump's organic stops at all of these locations are actually ops set up by Donald Trump's campaign to try to build an image, knowing that the media is going to further the propaganda, right? So after day 2 of the Manhattan District Attorney criminal trial, where Donald Trump kept on falling asleep, where Donald Trump was admonished by the judge for in Atlanta, Georgia last week, very similar thing, right? Where all of the media was showing Michaela Montgomery, she's an African-American woman who was at this Chick-fil-A that Donald Trump just happened to stop in, and then she gave Donald Trump a big hug. And then on Fox and all the right-wing media, they were saying, see, Donald Trump has support amongst African-Americans. You see, look, he's at a Chick-fil-A and an African-American woman gave him a hug. Everybody says, and then she said, Donald Trump, we love you. And that was being used by all the legacy media. And then if you just do a little bit of digging like we did here at the Midas Touch Network, she's a Republican consultant. She's someone who's worked with Charlie Kirk before and Candace Owens. She's worked
Charlie Kirk, the same man that said that when he goes on a plane, he hoped the pilot is white and not a DUI hire. Charlie Kirk, the same thing that says that black people aren't qualified to be pilots because they're black. And they may be a diversity hire. And to him, a diversity hire means that they hire you based upon your blackness, not your qualification. Because black automatically disqualifies you from any type of being qualified for something that where you need thought, where you have to be smart and intelligence and use your brain, have the testicular fortitude to decipher problems and issues that may be in front of you that may be too high caliber for your brain to comprehend. So you need a white man's brain to do that. Right? You can't be black and qualified, according to Charlie Kirk. So he hopes that the pilot is white. And then when we say people like me that says that the Republican Party is full of racist people, we have some people want to say, "Oh, they're Democrats and Republicans, they're the same." Show me a Democratic talking head, a very popular Democrat talking head saying something like that. Show me somebody from The View, right, saying something like that. Show me Angela Rye, Joy Reid, Roland Martin. Show me any person on the left saying something like that. That's why I look at all Republicans as coons, right? Because they align themselves with Republicans, right, who has the most outrageous ideology. I'm not saying all Republicans have this ideology, but you always see these MAGA coons and these Republicans with people that have the most despicable outlook of what a black person is, and they nuzzle up under them. These are the modern day house niggas. That's all that it is.
Worked with Charlie Kirk, who very recently said that he doesn't trust black pilots, and he's attacked Martin Luther King Jr. and MLK Day. She's worked at all of those events. We've got photos of them right there. She identifies herself as like a MAGA Republican type person. And so can you just do a modicum of research media before furthering this propaganda? Same thing right here at the bodega that Donald Trump said he was going to go to. It's the New York Young Republicans. By the way, with you watching the Midas Touch Network, you may remember back in December, we covered the event that Donald Trump was at that was hosted by the New York Young Republicans, and it had a lot of xenophobic and homophobic rhetoric. And while Donald Trump was giving the speech there, he bragged about how the statement that he made about sexually assaulting women was locker room talk. Do you remember that? This is Donald Trump at the New York Young Republican event a few months back, where he said that a general told him that the most courageous thing this general's seen, who's been to war zones and has seen death, but the most courageous thing was when Donald Trump said that grabbing women by their genitals and sexually assaulting them was locker room talk. And Donald Trump said that to the New York Young Republicans, the same group who organized this bodega event.
But I went onto that stage just a few days later, and a general who's a fantastic general
have used the clips of the crowd as evidence that Black and Hispanic voters are turning to Trump in heavily Democratic cheering, singing, and chanting for Trump. Pro-Trump right-wing media and MAGA Republicans have used the clips of the crowd as evidence that Black and Hispanic voters are turning to Trump in heavily Democratic areas. But the Harlem Bodega visit was planned by pro-Trump Republicans. As it turns out, this event wasn't a spontaneous visit. In fact, it was organized by a pro-Trump group, the New York Young Republican Club. Members of the club can be seen at the Harlem Bodega location ahead of Trump's visit and could be seen in the crowd later, where they were the ones leading the chants. So you see this photo right here. Trump's large entourage gathers onlookers at a pre-planned event embedded with pro-Trump Republicans. On social media, the New York Young Republican Club took credit for organizing the event, bringing Trump to the Harlem Bodega. The New York Young Republican Club credits their Hispanic and Black caucuses as well. On Twitter, Gavin Wax, the president of the New York Young Republican Club, also took credit for bringing Trump to the Harlem Bodega. Wax posted pictures of himself with NYYRC members waiting for Trump to arrive to the bodega. The New York Young Republican Club knew ahead of time and stationed their people at the event. So here's Gavin Mario Wax. He goes, proud to have led the historic effort.
You can see he has the American flag right there as most FBA coons. Every time you see a Black person who has a American flag, you just that goes to show that the FBA coon or Republican. So I'm not surprised at that.
Bring Donald Trump, El Jefe Trump, otherwise known as Papito Trump, to Harlem to visit the bodega that Jose Alba used to work at. Stay tuned for more. And then you have another post. It was an honor and privilege to set up the meeting with Donald Trump. But then when you actually start to look at it, and you have the photos here, looking at the group of pictures of the New York Young Republican Club members below, this was the photo that they took together. And then if you compare this photo to the crowd, you can clearly see that it's the New York Republican Club group that then embeds the
another failed stunt. Another failed stunt. It's another failed stunt. You can see them. Another failed stunt.
Himself in the crowd to act like they're just people there spontaneously chanting and cheering for Donald Trump. You can see it in this photo.
See him. He's over there. Right? You can see them. There. You can see them.
You can see that same group of people here as well. And again, this is just the tactic that he uses over and over again. You know, sometimes he gets caught by legacy media. We always catch him here on the Midas Touch Network. But like you remember when he was in Michigan recently, and he was saying that he had spoken to Ruby Garcia's family. She was murdered by someone who was here illegally. And Donald Trump said, I spoke with the family, and they said all these beautiful things about Ruby Garcia. And Ruby Garcia's family said, you never talked to us. Do not use our name to try to further your propaganda to attack immigrants. We understand that there was a crime committed here in Ruby Garcia.
Yeah, that was messed up. It was like a guy attacked this girl, whatever, and Trump lied and said he spoke to the family when he never spoke to the family. So is this it? Yeah, I think that's it.
His name out of your mouth, Donald Trump.
Anyway,
and then you also remember.
So I'm showing you guys that to show you that how deceitful Trump is. He cannot do something as genuine, something as human, to meet black people on a humane level, right? All the lies that MAGA tell you, like, oh, he cares about black people, do this for black people, but then again, he never has a real interaction with black people. All these things are it's fake, it's staged, because he wants nothing to do with black people at all, right? So show you another one. What is that one? Yeah, I did that one. Nope. Yeah. So let me show you this one. Or is it this one? Yes, this one.
Porn.
I would think this guy was
saying he wants porn.
By the way, you've got George Santos.
We want porn.
I would think this guy was a troll, but.
By the way, you've got George Santos out here. Here's George Santos outside of Trump's rally in the Bronx. Hat tip to freedomnews.tv. Support their independent journalism as well. Here's George Santos. Play this clip.
You looking forward to the rally, Mr. Santos?
Absolutely. Always.
What do you expect?
Watch Bronx Live. Bronx supporters. Eric Bolling, a big MAGA Republican in the leadership of kind of MAGA Republican social media. He goes, Bronx Lives MAGA. South Bronx supporters turn out for Trump rally. Watch Bronx Lives MAGA. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, points out, nobody in this photo is actually even from the Bronx.
Exactly. No one in this is from the Bronx. They're supposed to be rappers. If you guys caught at the beginning of the show right here, I named you a bunch of rappers, right? These guys, they're not from the Bronx. They're from the South.
They are from South Florida, most of them, but don't let that get in the way of a MAGA conspiracy saying, look how friendly MAGA is to Donald Trump. Look at the people who love him. By the way, in this,
there's nothing but white people there. There's nothing but white people there. It's like a box of crackers. This is with red hats, with red jelly on top of it. Like this makes no sense. Again, I showed you what the demographic of the Bronx is. There's nothing but lily white people out there. This is again, Donald Trump strikes again with his lies and grift and failed deception tactics.
This photo right here, where it says the Bronx is unfriendly to Trump. You've got Gavin Wax and the New York Young Republicans there. Remember,
again, I think this is all people that don't understand the demographic of the Bronx. They think it's like Queens, maybe some parts of Brooklyn. Most of the Bronx is Black and Hispanic. I think the percentage of white people is not even in the double digits.
Remember when Donald Trump went to the bodega in Harlem? We exposed it as a New York Young Republican event. We showed you that the people who were there were the New York Young Republicans. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, writes, Trump said many times that he was going to hold his New York rally in Madison going forward. Live in reality. By the way, Henline is a DeSantis supporter. Here, Henline posts this photo of the QAnon superhero who's at the event. This is what Henline writes. From Trump's Bronx rally, it really is a movement of the stupidest effing people in America. And then here is the QAnon superhero. And by the way, he...
So again, QAnon, keep telling you guys, is all these right-wing conspiracy theory people that's MAGA. And that's why they say the most stupidest things. That's why they believe in the most stupidest things. But it's going to get a little worse.
Interviewed by freedomnews.tv. Again, they're doing a great job. And he goes, "You goddamn right, I'm racist," is what he says. Here, just play a portion of this clip.
I'm a racist. It's America first. You damn right I'm racist. Don't threaten. Go back to special ed class, bro.
So you got this dude right here. I don't know, it's American flag. Like he said, so he's a MAGA dude. And he's telling him to go back to, they both MAGA, but he's racist, right? He has a MAGA hat on. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give you MAGA Targe one. I'm gonna say he's from the Bronx because he's Hispanic, right? But again, he has to eat this. This is what your party affiliation that you're affiliated with. Once you get out of your Bronx bubble, right? That is the majority of the country is QAnon, and they have that same ideology. You go to a MAGA rally, they got Confederate flags and everything, right? So I don't know. I mean, at least he has some integrity. He's saying, he's fighting him back. Like most MAGA coons won't even say anything. They probably give him a hug. Brandon will probably give him a hug and take him to Jack in the Box or some shit. Know how Brandon is, right? But at least he has some integrity. But this is the dynamic, and I think our brother Afro Think Tank said the same thing. It's like, what? How would the majority of MAGA, receive you with your? I mean, he's not a real Pan-African. Brandon's not a real Pan-African at all, but with his fake ideology, if he takes that fake Pan-African ideology on the road to MAGA, they're going to laugh at him, right? And he's going to be confronted with this Q guy.
Name 2 cities in Puerto Rico. Well, I want to teach you shit. Name 2 cities in Puerto Rico. You just got my name and be Puerto Rican. I've been here all my life. I don't know about Puerto Rico.
As Mike Sington posts, Trump supporters gather for Trump rally in the Bronx. This is the face of the modern day Republican Party right here. A lot of
again, nothing is white Hispanics, is Hispanic people that aren't from the Bronx. So I guess they try to blend in and say they're from the Bronx, but they're not.
Rappers as well. I think you got Fergaccio Blow right there with the MAGA chain. By the way, that's the same MAGA chain that Trump's lawyer Alina Habba wears. Remember, Alina Habba and Fergaccio Blow take the photos together. These are people very connected to Donald Trump. These people are very close to him. As Chris Nelson, though, points out, these guys are from South Florida. They're actually not from the Bronx. Here you've got this guy at the Trump rally in the Bronx getting very emotional as he waits for his hero, Donald Trump. Here, play this clip.
He's a great man. The family is great. They get nothing but grief. I love you, Donald. I would love to be able to shake your hand. It was my mom's last dying wish.
A COVID tent and just like destroy it and rip it apart. I mean, dangerous people. Watch this.
Yeah, so this is MAGA walking in the Bronx, right? They have their little mini January 6th, and you can see them start destroying property. But then when that happens, it's gonna be they're gonna say, if you show a MAGA, they're gonna say it's Antifa, it was the FBI, because they don't do anything wrong. But they're gonna have their little mini January 6th. Because remember, they're anti-vaxxers. They're anti-vaxxers because, the most stupidest people in this country so happen to be Republicans. So obviously it's no surprise that they're anti-vaxxers. See what he did? Hispanic dude did that. Another Hispanic dude did that. Then a white dude joins in. and cops arrest nobody.
Trump banner up in Yankee Stadium during the national anthem. Like, but I represented Colin Kaepernick when all the right-wing people said Colin Kaepernick peacefully protesting and taking a knee during the national anthem. Oh, you disgraced our anthem. But now, and by the way, Clay Travis, the right-wing propagandist who masquerades as a sports commentator, watch me put on my pants, everybody. Even his own supporters started leaving. Here, watch this. But in reality, when you actually look at the people who are at this event and what's going down, it's the opposite of strength. And of course, you have the people who were leaving the event as Donald Trump says, I could put on my pants. Watch me put on my pants, everybody. Even his own supporters started leaving. Here, watch this.
You see, it's nothing but white people there. That's a cop. White people, white people, white people, white people. Bunch of white people. All right, I think I proved my point, y'all. I wanted to get damn. I thought in this clip there was a bunch of real Bronx people saying that everyone's from out of town. They're seeing license plates from Jersey, Tennessee, Texas, Florida, and I thought it was in this clip. I might have skipped it, or I probably thought I put it in there and I didn't. But they say it was a lot of people from out of town. So, but you guys get the gist of what I'm trying to say. And lastly, I want to share this one of Joy Reid talking to another person from Brooklyn. They both, Joy Reid is from the Bronx. She's from New York. She's from Brooklyn, right? These are real New Yorkers. These are real New Yorkers telling you what was really going on the ground, right? Not these MAGA coons and liars.
We begin tonight with Donald Trump's preoccupation with crowd size, which continued in an unhinged Bronx rally where he boasted huge crowds of 25,000 plus. So take a look. Is that what you see here? 25,000 people. Well, based on the police department, as well as math, the laws of physics, and the existence of eyeballs, you can see that Trump, once again, is lying. It's the lie that launched 1,000 memes.
She said facts and physics.
With folks comparing this paltry scene with what actually constitutes a crowd of 25,000. Like the crowd Andrea Bocelli drew at the Barclays Center, or this rally, but for Barack Obama in Iowa. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Because if anything triggers Donald Trump, it's the Obama factor. Remember back in 2017 on that awful day for American history when Trump was inaugurated president? He predicted huge crowds for his ceremony, bigger than Obama's. But then these photos famously showed a view of the crowd on the National Mall at the inaugurations of Obama.
And this is what I'm trying to tell these MAGA-tards and people that say, I don't understand why people like Donald Trump. People never like Donald Trump. Remember, Donald Trump lost the popular vote. He was only in there by the Electoral College. So it just makes sense that the majority of people don't like him because he never, ever won the popular vote. What, during the midterms, they thought it was going to be this big red wave, princess dynasty and everything. Oh, don't worry, it's going to be fine. You know, Brandon from Pan-Africanism Strikes Back, he said the same thing. They were all disappointed. I don't know why they're disappointed. Oh, because they like to deny facts. They like to deny what's the reality and what the American people want. Not all of them is depraved lunatics like they are, right? So Donald Trump was never popular, and he just did things to make him more unpopular during his presidency.
Obama on the left and Trump on the right. Both images were shot shortly before noon from the top of the Washington Monument. The lies continue to this day. Just a couple of weeks ago, a so-called raucous beachfront rally in New Jersey drew between 80 and 100,000 people, according to Wildwood officials. But then those same Republican officials later said that the number reflected not really how many people were at the rally per se, but rather it was the number of people, quote, in our town.
And I remember that. So they got caught in a lie again. Republicans lying again to boost their numbers. Right? They just straight up lie.
Make it make sense, or rather don't. We know the absurdity is the point. This is a thing with Donald Trump, an overinflated sense of self and an orchestrated lying on stage. This is what actual New Yorkers were saying on the ground.
Nobody who is authentically from the Bronx.
$11.99 is a union, right? Is a union. So if you work for a New York City hospital, Department of Education, well, like my wife is a teacher, so she has UNICEF, UNIF or something. But if you work for any New York, city, or for the city like that, that's your union. $11.99. They got other chapters. $11.99 is one of them. So that's just to give you guys what that is, because I recognize that, because there are people in my family that's a part of that union.
Nobody who is authentically from the Bronx is willing to co-sign hatred and xenophobia and misogyny and all of the things that this guy represents.
Let Donald Trump know that he is not welcome in the Bronx.
Do you think there's any people you know in the Bronx or friends that would consider voting for him?
No, I don't know anyone that consider voting for him.
See, nothing but black people protesting against this loser, nothing but black people. They seen on Peter Guns and Lord Tyreek uptown.
Doesn't quite fit Trump's narrative, does it? And think about it. If Trump has so many supporters in New York, why aren't they showing up in droves to support him at his trial, where the courthouse is literally just a subway ride away?
Yeah, that courthouse is like right at the back of it's in Chinatown, right? You take the Manhattan Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge, and boom, you're like right there.
This is Tuesday. One supporter. Usually there are none. Trust me, I've been there. And to top off this tomfoolery, Trump floated Florida Congressman Byron Donalds as a potential vice presidential pick. Donalds, who backed Trump's lie that Biden authorized the feds to take him out, that guy, the one black guy that Republicans love to roll out as fake proof that black people, the blacks, are just MAGA. They're MAGA. It's a joke, and just as credible as when they pretended they were going to make that guy Speaker of the House, because they weren't going to do that either. Joining me now is Michael Steele, former RNC chair and co-host of The Weekend on MSNBC.
Well, I just wanted to show you guys that that's pretty much the gist of what's going on. Hold on one second. Yeah, it's pretty much of what happened. And again, you can see that crowd. That's all I pretty much want to do is prove to you that you can see the crowd is nothing but white people out there. These are not people from the Bronx.
Silly. And then I think
these are not people from the Bronx. These are just straight up white people, right? You saw the discussion here that they're having here. I mean, if you want to see more about it, then you could just look at it. But I just basically, you guys will just take a look at that crowd and know that crowd is nothing but white people, and they're pretty much are doing a very poor job of trying to pull a fast one on black people. Again, this is to appease white people, to make white people that are already racist or feel that they may be racist feel less racist, because it's like, oh, you got all these black people supporting them, right? So that's the end of that, right? So now I was on this show called the Just to Be Fair show, right? I'm supposed to be having a discussion or a debate on FBA and what FBA is about, and just debunking all their nonsense and what is FBA, from what's the genesis of FBA and what's the real intent, right? Tariq Nasheed and all the things he's done and not done and yada yada yada, right? I'm gonna play you a little clip of what we were discussing. I mean, and I would say it is a very fair show. These cats here, they're very, they're very cool. They, they listen. It's really a platform for a very good discussion, right? There's no ad hominem attacks or anything like that. It's really these young brothers, saying are intelligent enough to just sit down and have a real conversation. There's no nigga behavior or anything like that. It's just intellectual minds coming together to solve problems and just hear all perspectives, right? So it's usually one more other guy, but I guess he wasn't there this week. He's also cool. But the dude at the bottom that says FBA Trey is basically going to be him and I. So I'm gonna give you guys a little taste of the fall of FBA Trey based on all the things that he was saying. We had a discussion further, in the back. I don't have footage of that, but that was also a good conversation. So I'll show you guys a little taste of the conversation of what we had. And again, let me know what you guys think in the comment. And yeah, of course, I'm gonna comment, along the way.
Back too. So we got Kofi comment. I'm gonna go to Kofi first.
Yeah. And I say bring them both up.
Yeah. Kofi,
Kofi, talk to us.
Yeah. Now, what you were saying before in the conversation, I'm responding to how two things that we read at the same time. There, you have propaganda that is against us. Powers that be, white supremacy, and things like that. But at the same time, there is some sort of accountability that we could take charge of ourselves and our lives and our power, the power that we have. And one thing I find lacking in our generation, I'm older than you guys, but I say my generation too, as well as your generation, right? Is that we don't boycott. We know that money rules everything. And, white people don't care about your hurt feelings. They don't care about any of that. They care about their money. Right. So when certain things, like, I feel that we're not accountable for when it comes to where we spend our money. So perfect example, right? When the whole thing happened at H&M, when they had the little black boy in the monkey shirt and all that, niggas are still shopping at H&M to this day. Right. And I'm like, what the hell? Right. Papa John's.
Johnny got an H&M hoodie on right now. Nah, I'm joking.
It's just Goodfellas. This Target.
Oh, my bad.
Hopefully they ain't did nothing.
Yeah, like and then Papa John's, he was mad at Colin Kaepernick and all like that. Ever since then, I never had a Papa John's. Little things like that matter. We no one cares about black people until it's time to entertain them, right? Or it's time to learn a new dance or anything like that. Or you have your white friend that proves you say, hey, I'm not racist. Besides that, this country doesn't care about black people until you start using your money to hurt them, hit them where it hurts. And I think that's our problem. So yeah, the propaganda machines out there. Yeah, the court of public opinion, since this country and Europeans have invented race, is a thing. Yes, but one thing we have not done, we not follow in the footsteps of our forefathers, like Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, Fannie Lou Hamer, right? Is we have to boycott, talk, but also boycott. But I don't think we're disciplined to do that. I know I am, but the majority of us is not disciplined to do that. I just want to add that to the conversation.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. That ends up being my stance when it comes down to, like, even, well, we talk about Diddy, R. Kelly, or any famous person. I don't care enough about famous people to where I can't just stop listening to them and ingesting what they do if it goes against something that I am morally opposed to. Like I usually have that hard stance. If I'm morally opposed to whatever you're doing, I can lose interest really, really quickly.
Yeah, agreed. It's just us being like disciplined enough to know and not use materialism and certain things. We have to have enough self-respect, a lot of integrity for ourselves. I say, well, but that hoodie look good, or them shoes look good, or I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna eat there anyway. Fuck them niggas. Like
I want to step in the
our
name
great
of love.
grandparents never thought like that.
Nah, I dig it. Kamu, you back? Talk to us. What's your thoughts?
So, the literal idea of FBA to me is Kunish.
Well, I'm gonna skip a little bit, bro. That brother's trying to say this. He's from South Africa. He's basically saying some people in the South. There's groups of people in South Africa that are like FBA, that's kind of like, you know, getting cozy with the white people and the coons in their society. So he's making a parallel of those two groups, right? So that's what he was pretty much doing. I'm gonna like fast forward a little bit. Pretty much that's what it is. So you have an idea.
Bro, like to start with, Akon made his wealth off of America. So
Black Americans, but at the handed compliment. It's like you're saying Tariq Nasheed is not a
ridiculous to me, bro. Like,
oh, well, see, that's what I'm here for, man. Because I think you're misunderstanding what FBA is really about. Because there are plenty of Akons, and not everyone that's a foreigner is an Akon. There's a difference between them. Some people, if you're here and you're foreign and you're here to fight white supremacy, then you are not a tether. But if you do,
that's not what a definition of a tether is. He's oh man, why does that happen? I hate that. That's not what a definition of a tether is. A tether is what they, according to them, is just not white immigrants. They don't care about white immigrants. Is a black immigrant that came and lives in this country. That's what a tether is, right? He's trying to remix and change the definition of what a tether is.
you do like Akon, where you benefit from what we fight for. We're looking at it like Kai Cenat, who cosplays this recently, and he said we have no culture, and he's Caribbean. And then we have people that come over, and then they act as the worst caricatures of us, and then they do it for.
But then FBA does the same thing. Anyone looks at Tariq Nasheed's YouTube thumbnails, that's all he does is he makes generalizations of the people that disagrees with him. So someone in Zimbabwe is disagree with them. He does this character of how the person looked like, and he just tries to assassinate the whole country and the culture. He does that repeatedly. So again, FBA Trey is lying.
For white,
or he's extremely misinformed.
People, or they come and they play our roles like Harriet Tubman, and then they lust after the white supremacist slave master. Then that's when we have to start, circling our wagons and gatekeep. It's not like we have a problem with like black people abroad just for being black people from abroad. It's more just like a defense of what we don't want anybody to undermine our fight. Just like any other battle, you don't want people that are saboteurs. That's all it is.
Can I push back on that a little bit? There's a lot of things you said that's, not true, but it's a bunch of FBA talking points. So when you say Tariq Nasheed is not against black people, it's like a backhanded compliment. It's like you're saying Tariq Nasheed is not against, which is the FBA movement, not against all black people. He's just against the black people who try to undermine black Americans. But at the same time, when you go to Tariq Nasheed's page, all it is just undermining Africans, doing characters of Africans. It's a very self-hateful thing. He has these AI images of black, dark-skinned looking Africans, and he's gonna do eugenics and say, because your hairline is this and hairline is that. And he speaks in general terms. He's not speaking as for, this particular person right here is undermining us. He says it as a whole. 1, 2, with this whole cosplaying bullshit, right? I addressed that on my channel, right? You guys had no problem with a lot of white Americans cosplay a lot of other Caribbean people. So I did a video on my channel, right, saying you had Denzel Washington, right, in The Mighty Quinn. I'm older than you guys, so I know a little bit more cinema. Denzel Washington playing the Jamaican in The Mighty Quinn. Robert Townsend also playing the Jamaican in The Mighty Quinn. Malik Yoba, Cool Runnings, playing a Jamaican. You had that other guy from the 5 Heartbeats in Cool Runnings. Forgot his name. I think his name's Leon. He's American. He was playing Jamaican in Cool Runnings. Black Panther, the freaking movie. You had like 80% of the people that was playing Black Panther supposed to be African, right? Even though Wakanda is supposed to be a fictional place, but we know it's a place in Africa with several African ethnic cultures, right? So you had Black Americans cosplaying as Africans. So you had Chadwick Boseman, Forrest Whitaker, Angela Bassett, so on, so forth. No smoke. Y'all got, that's fine. No one said anything about that, right? In Living Color, right? They're playing Jamaicans. Still no problem, right? Regina King.
Hey, Kofi,
right?
real quick.
Regina King. She's playing Shirley Chisholm, right? She's Guyanese and Bayesian. They ain't saying nothing. That's fine. But the moment we play one of their characters, and this in the FBA age, like all that doesn't matter. And why can't they get a Black American? It's just stupidity. It's just hate. They're just hating just to hate, right? And it's people with low information. I'm going to use that term because I don't want to be offensive. There's a lot of people that have low information that don't know enough, that's speaking as the authority, as they know something that's like they're saying something real. Like they're saying something that's ironclad facts when it's not at all. They have one perspective, and they think that one perspective is the end all be all, and it's just the answer to what we're talking about, when it obviously not. By him saying cosplaying and all this other nonsense, it's like, what are you talking about? You like again, I'm gonna let it play because I could talk about this forever.
Real quick.
Yeah.
What is your YouTube name? I'm trying to look it up real quick. Is it Kofi TV?
No, it's Kofi the Black Critic.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Right.
Regina
King playing
debunk that real quick or not? So I get your point. You're saying FBA. Second point, you're saying FBAs have played people in the diaspora before.
Yes. So when we played, then your fans get up in a bunch, and now the Harriet Tubman thing, that's some bullshit. You know what? What's his name playing? Forrest Whitaker playing Idi Amin. Like again, you guys could check that out on my page where I addressed that. I just gave a whole list, right? And it wasn't, what the tether. You guys use tether. That's your N-word for anyone that's not Black. But the women who orchestrated that nonsense were Black American women with that nonsense.
We got killed behind the N-word, bro. FBA have not harmed anybody physically in the diaspora ever. So
hey fellas, real quick, I want to let me interject really quickly. So we are at that amazing time of almost 3 hours. So we're gonna wrap up the show. I would like to invite Kamu, Kofi. We do have a small after show in which, if y'all would like to finish off this conversation, maybe we'll put 20 minutes on the clock and allow just the conversation. We'll post it a little bit later. We'll send y'all the link. Just stay on after the show, and we'll kind of hook y'all to that. But what I would like to do is really quickly, as we're wrapping the show up, allow everybody to kind of give their quick 20-second closing statement. Let them know where they can find you at. And yeah, G.
Yo, appreciate everybody joining, comments. We appreciate the engagement. Make sure y'all support us because we just doing this off the strength, off the love. Y'all
who comes against us, I'm not advocating any violence, but at the end of the day,
at GSHPOD, where we focus on family, friends, finances, freedom, and our future, and fuck everything else. Ha.
FBA Trey.
Yo, FBAs, we will defend ourselves against anybody foreign or domestic who comes against us. I'm not advocating any violence, but at the end of the day, we have every right to defend ourselves and circle our culture and align with our.
He sounds like a Zionist. He sounds like a Zionist.
Theme tonight, our culture is worth protecting, and we will do that. And I love to see more Black people doing that, as we're talking about now today. So, peace and reparations, power to the people.
Yes, sir. John.
Anyway, that's about it, guys. I think I made my point. Oh, one other thing that I forgot to add, and I saw the thumbnail, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that, about the whole Trump rally Bronx nonsense, right? How he has a bunch of criminals that's representing Black people, right? He couldn't get like an upstanding rapper or anything like that. Nah, he got criminals that's in the same boat as him.
Jersey, Donald Trump called Lawrence Taylor on stage. More on that in a moment. But at Donald Trump's recent speech in the Bronx, he called onto the stage rappers by the name of Sleepy Hollow and Chef G, spelled.
I don't know who the hell them niggas are. Like, I don't know who they are.
SHEFFG, who were indicted last May, along with 30 other gang members, on a 140-count criminal indictment, including murder and at least 12 shootings. Chef G recently posted a $1.5 million cash bond to get released. And here he is with Donald Trump. Law and order, huh? This is what went down at Donald Trump's rally in the Bronx, where he brought Sleepy Hollow and Chef G on stage. Play the clip.
Oh, I like that. I want to get that done.
President Trump. Oh, man. One thing I want to say. One thing I want to say. They always gonna whisper your accomplishments and shout your failures. Trump gonna shout the wins for all of us.
They're the only Black. It's nothing but white people out there. These are some murderers, right? But I do understand why he's with murderers and why these niggas are gonna go like that. They got like over 20 indictments of shooting and murder. So if Trump becomes president, he'll just pardon them. All the criminals gravitate towards Trump, especially if you're facing criminality, because they know he's facing criminality. Or they're gonna say, yo, remember Trump when I was advocating for you? Come on, pardon me. This is all that this is. He's in the Bronx with a bunch of white people, and these guys are just showing their ass to help Trump in his farce of Black support. What's in it for them? If Trump wins, they get indicted. I mean, if I was, look, I understand their position. You know what I'm saying? If they know they're going to go to jail and they got to plug to Trump, shit, that's their incentive. That's why they're doing what they're doing.
Make America great again.
That other dude was not articulate. At least the first dude, he said something that's kind of clever and catchy and wisdom, showing wisdom in the wrong context. But yeah, I forgot to show you guys this because it's on the thumbnail. These are the people, and they're not even from the Bronx.
Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. That's what I like, those teeth. I want to find out where you did. I got to get my teeth like that.
And as Donald Trump ranted about crime in New York for a lot of the moments at this rally, he then Donald Trump brought up on 6 years of probation, organizing and underage, guilty in New Jersey. Donald Trump brought Lawrence Taylor on stage. Now, Lawrence Taylor pled guilty in New York in 2011 to criminal charges of sexual misconduct and patronizing an underage prostitute. He was sentenced to 6 years of probation in order to register as a registered sex offender.
Sounds familiar? Donald Trump is a sex offender and rapist. Again, he's attracting all the deplorable, degenerate criminals. And the sad part is that they're all black, which just goes to him showing and to the MAGA coons and retards saying that black people understand because black people has been discriminated against. Before, Republicans is like, nah, you just niggas. Right now, it's okay. Black people have been discriminated against. It just falls into the trope that black people are just criminals. That black people are just criminals. He brings out the criminal element in black society.
That's who Donald Trump brought up on stage in Wildwood, New Jersey. And this is what went down there. Play this clip.
I want to say I grew up a Democrat, and I've always been a Democrat until I met this man right here. I'll tell you what.
Now, Wildwood, New Jersey, that's Jersey. I understand all the white people there. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he did it in Newark or Jersey City. Then there's a lot of black people there. Nah, he did it in West Bubblefuck, New Jersey. So okay, I get that. And Lawrence Taylor had to come out and do that. Like this is insane.
He will not have to worry about nobody in my family ever voting for a Democrat again. Okay.
Gala in South.
Again, he probably wants to get Donald Trump to lift that to overturn his charges and his conviction for child molestation and rape and all that. Man, this is fucking sick. It's just sick.
Carolina, and said this.
Good. These lights are so bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there. But I can only see the black ones. I can't see any white ones. You see? That's how far I've come. That's how far I've come. That's a long way, isn't it?
Yeah, I know he says so much stuff that sometimes we forget about.
Oh, jeez. Anyway. All right, y'all. I just wanted to show you guys that to show you how sick and twisted and deplorable Donald Trump is, man. All right, we have still joining tomorrow. Yeah, so it's the to be fair show. Yeah, I was waiting for you to like email me or whatever. I could join tomorrow, no problem though. Yeah, I'll still join tomorrow, no problem. So let me know what time. Put in the chat what time you're gonna be doing, or I'll check your channel out. But yeah, I'll still be joining tomorrow, no problem. I don't see why not. But guys, check out the To Be Fair show. They have a lot of good topics, right? You're able to come in, state your opinions, and whatever, see how it's done. So it's called again the To Be Fair show, right? And you put in the chat, it's going to be from like around 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. All right. So basically, guys, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you, because again, I was waiting to all right, man, I'll look out for the email. Good looking on that. I basically just want to show you guys, I'll wait till the dust settle as of to show you like, okay, what is people saying about New York and the Bronx and this false narrative that most of the Bronx came out to see Donald Trump, which is just a blatant lie. I like talking about this and stuff like that because I want this to be documented on my channel, so no one could even try to spin that lie. Because that's why I like doing what I'm doing here right now, because when someone wants to say something on the contrary of it, at least I have video evidence out here. There's a compilation of me doing something like this to rebut the lies of what they're saying. So that was my main purpose of doing all this right here, right now. So pretty much, guys, that's it. I mean, I put the link in the chat, and there's not a lot of you up here or whatever, but that's pretty much what was my goal, to pretty much just show and prove that what was being told out there is not facts at all. So tomorrow on the To Be Fair show, I'm not sure if it's going to be a debate or a discussion or whatever. I'm not too sure, but be sure to tune in. I'm gonna try to make it there on time. I should be able to make it. I think my schedule is good, and pretty much that's it, y'all. You know, it's a 2-hour show. I think it was good. I think it was worth it, and pretty much that's it, guys. Until next time, peace.